Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 87, and it is one hell of a doozy. It is our all-in Grand Prix final. It's been a long road. Well, for me, it's been a long road. I don't know about you guys, but we are here. We are in the final, and we have got a pretty stacked card ahead of us. Also, if my calculations are correct in terms of my uploads, this is being uploaded on Christmas Day. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. This is my gift to you. Hopefully, a very good pay-per-view final. But yeah, we got some crazy matches on this. We finally got the rematch between Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia in an Iron Man Ultimate Submission match. We also have a number one contender 4-way tag team match. The winner will face the winner of next episode's tag team title match between the Golden Lovers and Hangman Adam Page and Bandido. Speaking of the Golden Lovers, one half of those are in our main event tonight against the unbeatable, we believe, Volta. That is the Block A winner against Block B winner Kenny Omega. The winner will win the All-In Grand Prix and book their ticket in the main event of AEW All Out later on this year. We also got a bunch of women's matches. We've got 3 women's matches on the main card. The first one being our women's international title match between Maki, Itoh and Rebecca Knox. We've then got the IWGP women's title match, Hikaru, Shida and Jade Cargill. And then finally, we have the AEW Women's World Championship match between Demi, Bennett and Toni Storm. So yeah, we've got a bunch of other matches too. There's no point in me reading every single one of them off because it's down there in the description. So just take a look and let me know who you think is going to win what in the comments section, or just sit back, relax, and feel free to react at the end. But as always, what we've been doing with the Grand Prix, we started with our little kickoff team of Renee Paquette, RJ City, and Paul White. They're here for the final. They're reviewing, what's transpired, things like that, and also giving their thoughts on who they believe is going to come out as the All-In Grand Prix champion. Renee's money is on Kenny Omega, whereas RJ and Paul White believe that Volta looks kind of unbeatable in singles action. So that's a 2-1 on the commentary team. We will have to wait and see who comes out on top in our main event. But first, we have one pre-show match, I believe, and it is a 25-man battle royal. The winner will face Hook for the FTW World title some point in the future. Probably not next episode, maybe the one after, or maybe we'll hold it out for a Battle of the Belts. But yeah, let's just head straight into that and see what happens. Also, one more thing to highlight. A bunch of these matches I have not selected a winner for, including quite a few of these title matches and this upcoming Battle Royale. So I've got no idea who wins, I'd say maybe 40-50% of these matches. So I'm just as buzzed as you guys are. So yeah, let's just dive straight into the 25-man FTW number one contendership Battle Royale. 82, nice, and in a decent pre-show match, it's Johnny Gargano. This is like his third match in AEW. That's kind of fitting though, isn't it? He's a new blood, super exciting. He wins the Battle Royale of all the people that are in this match. The final 4 were Calvin Tankman, that's quite fitting, Juice Robinson and Bandido. Wow, 2 members of the All-In Grand Prix, with Calvin Tankman being the final elimination. Look at TEW writing a story for us. Obviously, Tankman said that he would be in that Battle Royale and he'd come out and win, and they've booked him to be the runner-up. Johnny Gargano, there he is right at the end there, winning the Battle Royale. Bandido did get the most eliminations, so that's pretty good showing from him. Awesome. So that means that Johnny Gargano will face Hook in the future for the FTW World title. Wow. I mean, looking at who's involved, let's just quickly run through the names. There's not that, there's 25, but I'm going to read them anyway. We've got Alex Coughlin, Anthony Bowens, AR Fox, Bandido, Big Bill, Blake Christian, Brody King, Calvin Tankman, Darby Allin, El Generico, El Hijo del Vikingo, Jack Perry, Johnny Gargano, Juice Robinson, Kenta, Konosuke Takeshita, Kota Ibushi, one half of the Golden Lovers, Matt Sydal, Nick Wayne, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland, Teton, and Trent Beretta. So yeah, pretty stacked group of guys here. and Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, comes out on top. Amazing. That is our final, well, one and only pre-show match, because we kick off the All In Grand Prix with that four-way another number one contendership match, tag team match between Aussie Open, High Five, The Combat Club, and the Best Broskis, MJF and Matt Cardona. The winner of this match will go on to face the winner of the upcoming World Tag Team title match that happens in the next episode against, between, I'd say, Hangman Adam Page and Bandido taking on the Golden Lovers. Obviously, that couldn't happen tonight because Kenny Omega is a little busy in the main event. But yeah, let's head straight into the opening match of the show. Who's your money on? Let me know. An 87. Wow. Okay, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is the Best Broskis. They've done it. MJF and Matt Cardona are our new number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And you know what? I'm over the moon at that. Aussie Open, any other time, Aussie Open would have been my number one choice. But yeah, the Best Broskis are loving life. I'm loving booking them. So yeah, looking at these numbers, who'd they make? The MJF made Andretti tap. Yeah, they were the weak links, I'd say, of this group. But let's take a look and see how everyone did. Mark Davis with an 85, Kyle Fletcher with an 82, Darius with a 65, Andretti, with a 59. Come on, Andretti. Wheeler Yuta with a 74, not bad for him. Zack Sabre Jr. with an 87. Keep in mind, Yuta has just returned from injury. Matt Cardona with an 83, not bad. And MJF, wow, with a 97. Our personal wrestler of the year of last year, killing it since he's returned. But yeah, really good showing, really strong opening to the show. We've got all of this green, love that. And yeah, new number one contenders. Let's follow on from this, and we can see the three of them, so the Best Broskis and of course Steph DeLanda, are celebrating in the ring together. Steph's more kind of rolling her eyes, but she does, get involved in that celebration. There's a few jumps and a few high fives. And yeah, they are our new number one contenders, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do in that tag team title race. Following on from this, though, we've got our first of three women's matches tonight. It is our AEW Women's International Champion, Maki Itoh, defending her title against Rebecca Knox, someone who has kind of been a target of the Itoh Respect Army of late, and Rebecca Knox has done pretty well in kind of discarding most of them and getting some very important wins over Itoh herself in some tag team action. So here we are. Let's go straight into it. Can Rebecca Knox get the win, as she did in the Women's Owen Hart tournament? And can she replicate that and win a title? Let's find out. In a decent match, it is Rebecca Knox that gets the win. She defeats Maki Itoh in 19 minutes with the Exploder Suplex. Rebecca Knox has her first title in AEW, and it is our AEW Women's International Belt. Maki Itoh's Respect Army, of course, were banned from ringside, meaning it was just a straight up one-on-one, and Rebecca Knox managed to take advantage of that. Maki Itoh with a 63, not a very good showing from her. She has done a lot better recently. Rebecca Knox with a 77, very, very good from her. And a 72 overall. I will take that. Great match. And congratulations to Rebecca Knox, our first new champion of the night. There is a potential for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new champions tonight. Let's see how many of them are going to change hands. The next match, though, is one that I'm very excited for. This would have main evented any other show if it hadn't been for it being the Grand Prix final. It is the rematch between Bryan Danielson, our AEW World Light Heavyweight Champion, and Daniel Garcia, who has just been ridiculously impressive. Yeah, this is an ultimate submission match. So for all you guys that aren't aware, that's basically an iron match, but the only way to get wins in this match is to make your opponent tap. There's no rope breaks, no DQ, no pinning, just straight up make them tap, or if they pass out from a submission move as well, that counts. But yeah, this is a match I haven't chosen the winner of. I just want to see what happens. So I'm going to sit back right now, press next segment, and enjoy and hopefully love what I see. 89. I will take that in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and great heat. It is Bryan Danielson who retains. He defeats Daniel Garcia in a 30-minute ultimate submission match by 2 falls to 1. Bryan Danielson makes defense number 1 of his AEW World Light Heavyweight Championship. Looking at those numbers though, Bryan Danielson with a 91, Daniel Garcia with a 90, and obviously Bryan and Prix being a great pairing. Did anything let this down? So Bryan was penalised for declining physical ability, and then the low heat of the storyline, because obviously they haven't really been face to face in a while, so yeah, the heat of that's kind of gone down a little bit, but either way, great showing here. Awesome match so far. Match of the night. Will it remain match of the night? I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that is to continue with the show. And up next is our second women's match of the night. It is Jade Cargill, who's been kind of targeting Hikaru Shida as of late, wanting the IWGP Women's Championship. Jade Cargill wants to go global. She wants to start defending in Japan and Mexico and, Impact, maybe. I mean, who wants to defend in Impact? And Hikaru Shida's IWGP Women's title is that ticket. But before the match starts, Jade Cargill comes out, microphone in hand, and says that she has a little bit of news. And that news is that, one, she vows to win and take the IWGP belt with her. And the reason why she's saying take with her is because after this match, she plans to take a break from wrestling in order to start a family and have a little baby. So, massive congratulations, we can say, I guess, ahead of time, to Jade Cargill, who's looking to have a baby. The reason why I've worded it like this is because the game has told me that she's pregnant and that she'll be leaving in a couple months, but she's still fit to compete at the moment. And I don't know about you, but if my partner was like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks pregnant, I wouldn't be like, yeah, it's fine, babe, you go wrestle in a ring. No, I wouldn't do that. So I've kind of just flipped it a little bit. Jade Cargill is leaving us in, I think, a month or two. But this is her way of saying, yo, I'm winning that belt and then I'm going on maternity leave. So suck a dick, everyone. So yeah, this could be a huge, huge win for Jade Cargill, as she just, takes the belt and runs. But she does have Hikaru Shida in the way. And we all know that Hikaru Shida is probably on paper our best female wrestler. Or I'd say one of. Because, our women's world champion is kind of elite, you could say. But yeah, let's jump straight into this match. Big congrats to Jade Cargill, in-game, obviously. She's not pregnant in real life. She might be by the time this comes out. Who knows? But yeah, let's just get straight into the match. Hold on a second. Jade Cargill in an 82 rated match? Wow, I mean, keep the baby in your belly. Maybe they're doing something right. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Oh, it is, of course, Hikaru Shida defending in 15 minutes by submission, making Jade Cargill tap with the full metal muffler. Hikaru Shida, putting on crazy numbers with an 82 rated performance. Jade Cargill doing really well with a 67. I mean, she is getting better and better, and eventually I could see her getting a title back. Which one? I don't know, but, she's slowly starting to prove and earn her worth in AEW. The great thing about this as well is that they've got good chemistry. Oh, that's something that we can run back again if we want to. But congratulations to Hikaru Shida, who retains our second retain of the night. So we've got one new champion, 2 retains, and then we've got 2 more title matches remaining. And I don't know if this is the last time we'll see Cargill. I mean, she is still available for another month or 2, so we'll keep her around. Maybe she'll be more of a personality role, because I know that she's available to wrestle in-game wise, but the game's telling me she's pregnant. I don't really want to be putting her through anything. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. But yeah, let's move on from this, and we have got our World Trios titles next. It is La Facción. So we've got Rush, Andrade and Sammy Guevara, the 3 members of La Facción, taking on the newly formed and very scary Roberts family. That is the team of Drew Galloway and FTR. So FTR already are tag team specialists, and you throw Drew Galloway in there as well. That's quite scary. But on the other end, you've got Rush and Andrade, who have been insane from day one, and Sammy Guevara has just been incredible in recent months. So yeah, it's going to be a very hard fought match. I'm very excited to see what happens in this one. So let's not waste any more time and head straight into La Facción against the Roberts family. An 86. Oh yes, I will take that. In a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, it is the Roberts family that get the win. Drew Galloway, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood defeat La Facción and become our new AEW World Trios Champions. Drew Galloway getting the win over Sammy Guevara with the Claymore kick. Sammy with a 71, Andrade with an 81, Rush with an 88. Wow. I'm really glad that I kind of left this event for a week, because obviously it allowed everyone to rest up that was involved. You know, like Rush, Drew Galloway, our two main eventers later on tonight. Yeah, very exciting. Dax and Cash with mid-70s and Drew Galloway with a 94. Got the crowd buzzing as well. I mean, I'd be buzzing too if I saw a match like this. But the Roberts family, it didn't take long. Jake Roberts promised titles. He promised, you know, success. And, you know, he's kept to his promise. Drew Galloway, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood and Jake Roberts stand tall with their trios titles. Following on from this, though, the action does not stop. We have got our third and final women's match of the night. It is Demi Bennett taking on Toni Storm. Now, this is a match that we've seen a couple of times already, but Toni Storm says that each time she wrestles Demi Bennett, she gets better and she knows how to defeat her. Demi Bennett, of course, is on the other side and isn't scared at all. She's kind of shrugging off Toni Storm because, you know, she's beaten her a few times, but is that a smart move? I mean, Toni Storm is a pretty incredible female wrestler, as is. So Demi Bennett really shouldn't be taking her lightly. But either way, we have got the Women's World Title match up next. So let's see what goes down. 80 rated match, love that. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, it is, of course, Demi Bennett retaining. She defeats Toni Storm in just shy of 20 minutes with the Riptide. This is defense number 6 of Demi Bennett's Women's World Title reign, and over half, actually no, I think exactly half of those title defenses have been against Toni Storm. Where does Toni Storm go from this? Is she gonna challenge again? I mean, she might. Is she gonna turn her attention to the international title? Who knows? But Toni Storm once again is on the losing side against Demi Bennett. Demi Bennett looks unbeatable. I genuinely can't think of a single person on our roster who could realistically beat her every single time. I mean, Hikaru Shida can come close, Rebecca Knox, Jamie Hayter, Mercedes Moné. You know, we've got big names, but I mean, Demi Bennett has just been dominant from day one. And looking at the numbers as well, an 85 rated performance from Demi Bennett, that's amazing. And Toni Storm with a 66, she has got better with each match we've seen her in. So we can only, you know, tip our caps, I guess. Is that a saying? Who knows? We're getting close to the main event now, guys. We've got 2 more matches. The next one is not a title match, and it is not the All-In Grand Prix final. This is a grudge match between 2 people who do not like each other. Pac has been a bastard since day one. We know he has. We know that Pac's a little shit. And he turned on his Lucha brothers. The other 2 members of Death Triangle said, "You're the reason you're holding me back. You guys are the reason I haven't won a title in AEW since my return." Pentagon, of course, you know, being the big brother of the 2, I'd say, out of him and Ray Fenix, and said enough is enough and challenged Pac to a hardcore, anything goes, Falls Count Anywhere-esque match. You know, it's one of those. I can't remember what I booked it as, but it's basically a no disqualification, do what you want, pin or submission only. And yeah, that match is up next. Let's find out what happens. And in a bout that had superb wrestling, a 90 rated match, which I believe is our best match of the night. Pac defeats Pentagon Jr. in 21 minutes with the Black Arrow. Pac got an in-ring performance of 90 and Pentagon Jr. with an 80. What an insane match this was. We can see that Alex Abrahantes was ringside. He did get involved a few times, you know, trying to aid his his client, Pentagon, but Pac, taking advantage of that, putting Alex in some dangerous, precarious situations, which led to Pentagon being distracted and Pac just using his dastardly ways to overcome Pentagon and defeat him. So Pac standing tall, which, to be fair, is a rare sight on a pay-per-view. Pac normally doesn't get the win on a pay-per-view, so this is big for him. So I'm very excited to see where Pac goes next with this momentum. Does he now target Rey Fenix? That seems like the likely journey. Surely Rey Fenix is going to step up now and try and challenge Pac. But tonight it's about Pac and Pentagon, and Pac is the one that is on top. Great win for Pac and a great match. Our best of the night so far. We take a little bit of a break from the wrestling now. We head backstage where Renee is interviewing, or she's just sat with, I guess, her husband, Jon Moxley, who is our AEW World Heavyweight Champion and not booked for the show. And she just says to him, like, Jon, how do you feel about not being on the show? And Jon, just leaning back, title over shoulder, just says, it's not bad. I get a night off. I get to rest. I get to see, other people wrestle. I get to analyze future opponents. Pac just got a big win. Who knows whether he wants a world title shot? And then you've got Volta and Kenny Omega in the final. One of those guys are going to be going to All Out, so I'll be facing them there. And I'll just be sitting back, relaxing and watching. Oh, and also I'll definitely be having a word with Zack Sabre Jr. and Wheeler Yuta, because they couldn't get the job done earlier tonight. And Renee is like, okay, but you're not guaranteed to be at All Out. You do know that, right? Because between now and then you could lose the title. And Jon Mox is like, why you got to do that, Renee? Huh? Why do you even have to say that? And she's like, oh, sorry. And then they vibe. I don't know. They're a married couple. Just let them be. But yeah, nice little segment from here. I just wanted to get Moxley on the card, even though it's a backstage segment, because it's a big event. We don't want him to be ignored, because he is our world champion. So, and there was nothing natural in terms of, getting him on the card. So, yeah, he just lives to see another day as champion, because, there's no one worthy of challenging at the moment. But that segment does take us into the match that he mentioned, the All-In Grand Prix final. Kenny Omega, the winner of Block B, who only won in the final day of the tournament, and Volta, who, let's be honest, breezed through that tournament. He had a pretty tough match against Drew Galloway, but that was 4 or 5 days in. From then on, it was plain sailing for Volta. He decimated everyone in his path, including the likes of CM Punk, Will Ospreay, Matt Cardona. That one was a pretty easy one, to be fair. But yeah, Volta is quite scary. He has lost twice, though, keep in mind, both in exhibition trios matches. Once it was Kenny Omega who pinned him, and twice when it was our current world champion, Jon Moxley, who pinned him. So the two people that he kind of needs to defeat at the moment to become our world champion are the two men that have pinned him. Wasn't done on purpose, but it's kind of written a pretty, epic story for Volta if he can overcome Kenny. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. We know the match. We know what's at stake. Volta, Kenny Omega, let's do this. An 89, one shy of being our best match of the night. So Pac and Pentagon take the cake. But in a bout that had superb wrestling and great heat, it is Kenny Omega. He has done it. One half of our World Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega, has defeated the unbeatable Volta in 26 minutes with the one-winged angel. That means that Kenny Omega is our first ever, our inaugural AEW All-In Grand Prix champion, which means he has booked his place. He has secured his place in the main event of AEW All Out, where he will challenge the AEW World Heavyweight Champion for their title. At the moment, that's Jon Moxley, but, anything can happen between June and September. Post-match, though, Volta gets up. You know, he's a man of honor, even though he's a bit of a twat. He offers a hand, he shakes Kenny Omega, and lets Kenny Omega soak in the win. You know, the All-In Grand Prix is a big old trophy. I've used the AI before. You know how I've done with the titles. Done that with a trophy as well. I'll show you it afterwards. Yeah, Volta leaves Kenny in the ring. Kenny is celebrating. We got the streamers. Kota Ibushi comes out, celebrates with his boy. And then suddenly we hear some very, very familiar music. It's Keith Lee. Keith Lee interrupts Kenny Omega's celebration, attacks Kenny Omega, knocks down Kota Ibushi too, and just stands over Kenny Omega's body. And in the corner, you know, kind of like how they do with Royal Rumble at WrestleMania, there's a little logo in the corner of the stadium that's got WrestleMania. We've got a logo that says All Out, and Keith Lee, you can see he's muttering something to Kenny Omega, and it looks like he is challenging Kenny Omega for his All Out spot. Remember, Keith Lee was the only man who defeated Kenny Omega on night 1 of the All-In Grand Prix. So, you know, he's got a pretty good case as to why he should maybe be in that All Out spot and not Kenny Omega. So that is how we end the show. Keith Lee standing tall over Kenny Omega, who is just completely out of it. Trophy, you know, in hand, you could say, but, you know, on the floor. And the challenge has been set between Keith Lee and Kenny Omega. Let's see how we did. An 89 overall. I figured it'd be that. You know, we got numerous 89 rated matches and segments and, you know, around that. But yeah, awesome. Can't complain. Insane. Look at this. Love that. We've got some new champions. Rebecca Knox is our new Women's International Champion. The Roberts family are our new AEW World Trios Champions. And yeah, not much else is going. Did I not book this as a championship match? I didn't. Whoops. I'm quite glad that Jade Cargill didn't win then. I'm not going back and recording all of this. You can fuck off. But yeah, Jade Cargill lost anyway, so that's fine. It's still an 82. Our best rated women's match had Jade Cargill in it. But yeah, really, really good showing. And of course, Johnny Gargano will be facing Hook at some point in the future. What I'll do is I'll make that the main event of a Battle of the Belts that we're going to do in a couple episodes' time. Because why not? Yeah, 50,000 people as well in the Dodger Stadium. That's ridiculous. Let's make a speech, though. I think, of course, we need to congratulate Kenny Omega. Let's give that man a hug. And then I think Pac and Pentagon had match of the night. So let's compliment both of those. Let's go great performance. Let's go great performance for Pac, and then we'll go good performance for Pentagon. Lovely, yeah. So let's make that speech. So Kenny's pleased, Pac's pleased, Pentagon is pleased. So I'm just gonna pause it here now. We're gonna jump back to the office, something that you guys haven't seen in a long time, and we're just gonna take a quick look at Creative and our titles. Because I haven't looked at Creative in a while, just to see, you know, who's at the top of our card, who does the game recognise as our top guys, and also looking at our title prestige and things like that. And that's where we can see Kenny Omega as our All-In Grand Prix final champion. So I'm just going to cut the video here, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, here we are in the office. My mind went blank then. Keith Lee has an opinion. Apparently Jack Perry's turning into a good worker and the kid is worth getting behind. Jack Perry is someone who I do want to start doing more things with. He's kind of just falling into obscurity, so it's quite good that Keith Lee has highlighted this, because good old JP still got his old picture because I bulk record like a psycho. Just to kind of give you guys clarity, this comes out Christmas Day. I'm recording this in August. Yeah. He's just turned heel in real life. So yeah, I'll be updating his picture very soon. And yeah, he's someone that I'll look to use with something, I guess. What's Pat Buck got to say? Takeshita's going to be a star in my opinion. Yes, he is. Kid's worth pushing hard. We've got a lot of talent, Pat. You know, relax. Same boat as Jack Perry, although Takeshita's definitely had a lot more limelight than Jack Perry. Viewing figures, we got just over 7 million viewers, buy rate of 0, so that's fine because we have our own streaming service now, which I might as well show you guys. Where is it? Investments. Upgrade own broadcast. Yeah, we've got AEW All Access that I created. We're pretty big everywhere. I think so this is our current coverage. Very big, and then medium everywhere else. So this is what all of our pay-per-views are on. And I think eventually down the line, I'm just going to put all of our shows on here. Because why not? We could increase some of these, to be honest. But there's not really a need to. Because we are making bank. Last month, we made just under $20 million. Because of the... all of these shows here, like madness. Then we've got some dark tapings. Can't show you that because there's a certain wrestler in there that might spoil. Oh, the wrestler might be in creative. You know what? If they're in creative, it's fine. You guys can see him. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we are going to look at our titles first. Oh, could you imagine if they popped up then? Let's have a look at the titles. So here we go. We've got the AEW All In Grand Prix. Look at that prestige off the bat, an 86. Thanks to Kenny Omega's win. That is our Grand Prix title. Yeah, great win from Kenny Omega. Let's go to the international scene for the AEW International Champion, Keith Lee. Current prestige is 52. How's it doing? It's growing. That's fine. You haven't had many champions because Cassidy had it for a while. So did Jay White. Pentagon not as long. And now Keith Lee has been pretty much killing it for the last 2 months or so. Our women's international title, as of last night, Rebecca Knox, 44 prestige. Was previously the TBS title. Let's track that prestige. It's getting better. That's good. Yeah, Jade Cargill obviously lost it to Chris Statlander in our save. Then Nyla Rose took it off of her. Then Toni Storm. Maki Itoh's had it for quite a while. Actually, she hasn't had it for that long. Oh, she has, yeah, December. Hold on, yeah. Had it for a while. Hasn't defended it too much, but done really well. And now it's the era of Rebecca Knox. Again, custom-made image from myself. Following on, we've got the Women's World Champion, which is Demi Bennett. She took it off AJ Mendez in October and has just been... No, in February, sorry. And has just been dominant. You know, we can look at the defenses. Oh, this is from the beginning of the series. Wow. But yeah, she's been putting in some really, really good numbers here. Defeating big people, you know. I mean, Billy Starks is a future star. But yeah, defeats our current international champion, Rebecca Knox. And then Toni Storm, Monet, Toni Storm. Moving on, we've got John Moxley, our World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Jay White at... What did he defeat him at? Was it Blood and Guts? It was, wasn't it? Track the prestige. Yep, getting better and better. Few defenses. It was... Yes, at Blood and Guts, he won. And since then, he has defeated Claudio Castagnoli and he defeated Will Ospreay at Battle of the Belts. Moving on, we've got our World Light Heavyweight Championship. I'm not a big fan of this belt anymore, but we're sticking with it, because why not? Daniel Garcia was our inaugural champion, held it for a very long time. But Bryan Danielson is now here, and he is, you know, the World Light Heavyweight Champion. Speaking of big old belts, this prestige has just been, I mean, it doesn't look like much from here, but it has been growing from strength to strength. And it will be on the line in our next episode against Hangman Adam Page and Bandito. Yeah, Kenny Omega, our, you know, Grand Prix champion Kenny Omega. Surely he's not going to be losing. You know, he's at the top of his game. Although, could the World Tag Team title be a distraction? We'll have to wait and see. Then going to our trios belts, we've got new champions here. The Roberts family of Drew Galloway, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, taking it off of Andrade, Rush, and Sammy Guevara. We've had some interesting champions. This is La Facción's second time with the belt. Of course, they did have a different third member. Nakamura is now not part of AEW at all. He's not even in Ring of Honor. He's just gone. But yeah, had some really interesting championship history here. And then finally, the FTW World title, which used to be Christian Cage's baby for the longest time. And then, of course, Will Ospreay came in, and then Hook took it back. And since then, Hook's been on an incredible run. Let's look at these defenses. I mean, look at these numbers. Hold on. Let's go from, 82, 75, 77, 92, 85, 88, 77. I mean, yeah, insane. And then finally, we've got the Foundation Tournament. So Will Ospreay won it early this year, which earned him that title opportunity. The same with Rebecca Knox, that earned her the title opportunity. Both of them failing at that. And then finally, just to round off this episode, we will just run through creative because I want to look at it and you guys haven't seen it in a while. So yeah, let's start at the top. MJF is apparently our top franchise player. In terms of appeal and ability to draw fans in, there is no question that he is number one. Amazing. Kenny Omega, close second, has to be considered our lead babyface. That was Hangman Adam Page's position for the longest time, but he's dropped down to position 3. He hasn't had the best of luck recently in terms of results. And then we've got Bryan Danielson and CM Punk just squeezing in at the top. Punk's popularity, though, I think is crazy. 89. What's MJF's? Oh, no, okay, fair enough. Wow, I didn't realize MJF's was that high. Let's track that progress. Wow, look at that. That's insane, isn't it? Amazing. Look at our next big things. We've got 4 next big things. Hook's already a big thing, let's be honest. Tankman, in my opinion, is so close to being a top star too. Nick Wayne's got a little bit of a way to go, but he's got everything going for him. And Vikingo is someone we kind of don't use very well, but at the same time, I think he's just here to put on a fun match every now and then. Hot Prospects is basically big things, but not at like main event star quality necessarily. But there's no doubt Jamie Hayter's going to be one of the biggest women in our division. Already is one of the biggest. Takeshita as well, you know, he's going to be a future star. And then Yamashita and Itoh are already insane, and they're just going to get better week in, week out. Our best talkers, not many surprises here. AJ Mendez is great on the mic, as is CM Punk and MJF. They would be my top 3. Matt Cardona, though, is a bit of a surprise. I didn't think it'd be this high. And then Chris Jericho, someone who doesn't really wrestle anymore for us. He's more of a commentator, interviewer, announcer kind of guy. But yeah, he's also got crazy good charisma. Showstoppers. I'm really scared that like the person I've signed is going to appear, but they haven't yet, so thankfully. Pac is at the top. That makes sense. In terms of in-ring ability, he's Mr. Consistent. Nick Jackson's a bit of a surprise. His selling of moves is extremely impressive. That probably does help. We've got a lot of wrestlers that selling isn't the best. Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., Keith Lee. The only thing that's holding those guys back is their selling. Kenny Omega, of course, top talent. Mercedes Moné, someone we should really be using better. And then MJF, you know, he's not just, you know, the charismatic, cocky heel that we all love. He's also fucking awesome in the ring. Ring generals, pretty similar to Showstoppers, but these guys are just, you know, consistent. You can see here, exceptional consistency. That's what the ring general is all about. And yeah, this makes sense. All of these guys put in high numbers no matter what kind of match you throw them in. Nick Jackson as well, especially since becoming a singles star, has been unreal. I love him. Matt Jackson is still away. We have no reports or updates on when he might be back. But you can rest assured that when he is back, it's going to be explosive. And now looking at our who's hot and who's not. Who's hot? Let's find out. Hook is the hottest man in AEW, apparently. To be fair, he's a good-looking guy, so, you know, makes sense. Bryan Danielson as well is at the top of his game. He's recently got a nice string of wins, especially in the last few nights of the Grand Prix. And, of course, the big win over Daniel Garcia just now. Kenny Omega, I mean, that makes sense. He's probably in the best form of his life right now, so just ride that wave. Lance Archer is a surprise. Let's look at Archer's match history. So let's look at his 8 wins, 3 losses. So win, loss, win, loss, win, and then that doesn't count. That's a thing. So yeah, he's got some big wins and some decent numbers too. So maybe, you know, put some respect on the other Roberts family members' name. Oh, he got divorced. Ah. And then, of course, Hikaru Shida, you know, she's been in great form recently. She's also been doing shows outside as well. So here we go. Yeah, Rev Pro, she did a show. Ring of Honor, just for the IWGP titles, defeats Mercedes Martinez and Willow Nightingale. Then here, Clara Austin, Millie McKenzie, and Rebel Kinney, whoever they are. I mean, we know Millie McKenzie, these two. I think she's a regen, right? Yeah, she's a regen. And that's someone. And then finally, who's not? I'm hoping there's no one here, but if I'm a betting man, possibly Bandido, Darby Allin, Juice Robinson. I could see them being there. No one. Hey, I'll take that. We love it when there's no one who's not. And then finally, is there anyone that I haven't already signed that I might want to? I mean, he's someone I released. And the rest of them are a big fat no. So yeah, that is how we are going to end this big bumper episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. The All-In Grand Prix was awesome. Like, here it is right here. I'll leave it on this screen just for you guys to take a look at again. Yeah, huge match. The next episode will, of course, feature... We'll go back to the original way. It'll be Dynamite and Collision in one episode. So in that Collision main event, we will have the World Tag Team Championship match between the Golden Lovers and Hangman Page and Bandito. So, yeah, don't miss it because it's going to be big. Well, it better be big because their recent matches have been big. So, big. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts, reactions, just anything at all in the comment section, because as you already know, I try and reply to every single person. So far, so good. If I don't reply, I will at least acknowledge, because if you just say something random that I don't need to reply to, I'll still give you a little like or a heart. But yeah, that's it from me. Please, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, do it all, and I will see you guys in the next one.